Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. I'm Nick Eatman. It's Wednesday, December the 18th. 1 week away from Christmas. Hope you're going to get everything you want on the Christmas list. If that includes a Cowboys trip to the playoffs, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens next year with that. All right, 888-855-2297 is the number to call. We've got a couple of callers on the line. Chris is back there. Fix the audio or something that we have. I hear a little something. There we go. Sorry. It's the second show of the day, you know, and it gets it rolling by noon or so. I'm just kidding. Chris, what's up, man?
What's up?
Sorry, I could just hear an echo or something. I knew
that's on me. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. It happens. You know, it happens to the best of us for sure. I'm going to make 3 mistakes here in the next 10 minutes. I don't even know about it. All right. Robbie in Cocoa Beach, North Carolina is up. What's up, man?
Florida, not North Carolina.
I'm just kidding. There's my first mistake. I was just playing though. What's up, Robbie?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, man? Hey, Merry Christmas to you again. So my boy was sending his Christmas list to Santa, and he asked for all the normal stuff. He wanted a new bike, a new fishing rod, and he said, "I hope the Cowboys win the Super Bowl." And I said, "Well, I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but there's still a chance we make the playoffs, but we'll see about that. It's probably not very good."
Looks like you're going to need to get an Xbox, get Madden, and let them, get to work. That's probably the best chance for that right now.
Yeah, that's probably the best chance. We've got all that. He plays. He's
all right.
He plays the Cowboys.
Well, maybe that's what he
good.
meant. Maybe that's what he meant,
I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
But I got a better Christmas wish. I hope that Darren Woodson gets into the Hall of Fame this year. And I think he will, man. I hope so. It's about time.
It is about time. It is about time.
And
I hope so, too.
I know he knows and how well you've talked about him and how well other people have talked to him and listened to his podcast a year or so ago whenever it was out.
Yeah.
What a great, great person. He definitely deserves it for all he's done and for how he played and all the right reasons.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of great people that aren't in the Hall of Fame. And I think because of the person he is, we all, root for him even more. But he could be the biggest jackass in the world. He deserves to be in the game for how he played because he played like in an era that, it was hard to be a safety linebacker / cover corner. He could do it all. And a special teams
he could
guy.
do it all.
He could do it all.
Yep,
and he did it all. He did it all. So, he needs to be in there.
Well, here's prayers for him to get in this year, man. I know you're hoping for it too. And other than that, let's beat the Bucs this weekend.
Okay.
And make it more interesting because I love my Kool-Aid. And that's it, Nick. Take another call. Have a great week, bud.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. I was looking. I wanted to see what Washington has got going on. Washington they got Philly at home. Okay. So if Washington wins one more game, then the Cowboys are eliminated. I believe that's how I read that.
That is true.
That's true. Okay. So, and I know Atlanta's in there too. There's something with Atlanta, but Washington's the one. I mean, if they beat Philly this week, then they're out, and or the Cowboys would be out regardless of what they do. And then Washington plays Atlanta. That would be kind of interesting. But all right, at this point, you're kind of just playing to play, and the fact that they're still in it mathematically is enough to go out there and play. But I think that we've seen with what Mike McCarthy and Mike Zimmer and those guys have said all along. We've seen what Micah Parsons is saying. They're out here to play. They're out here to try to do the best that they can and try to win these games, and that's the way they should play it, in my opinion. And I look at this as if you don't, if it doesn't work out, you don't win the game, then you get something out of it. You know what I mean? To me, this is like going to the steakhouse. Every game is like going to the steakhouse and you want to get a big juicy steak. But if he end up giving you a salad at the end, it's not what you wanted. But at least you look at it like, well, at least At least I'm eating healthy today. It's not what I wanted, but I'm eating healthy. That's the way I look at losses at this point in the year. You're trying to win. You're trying to win. If it doesn't work, well, you see the silver lining, like, well, at least it helps the draft pick. But that's the after the fact. It's not going into it, anything like that. All right, Irene from Falls Church, Virginia. Irene, what's up?
Hey, good morning. I'll touch on what you just talked about for a second. Yeah, I think that's the difficulty in watching these games right now is that, because we lost to Cincinnati and then the miracle, I don't know if it's a miracle finish, but Washington, they've had a couple really, really close games that they probably should have lost. So it's just kind of tough to watch because you're like, oh, they're playing so well right now, and it's just not going to matter. But it is what it is. At least it matters for evaluations, and I think I don't know how much I believe in carrying over, but I do think the will of the team is important, and they have the will. So anyway, I wanted to get my Christmas movie in. I think that was Mike's question from last week. Not a huge movie person, so I'm probably missing something, but I'm with Ali. I'm Miracle on 34th Street. It made me, as a kid, reconsider my position on Santa Claus as being real, so I feel like that's pretty magical.
Whoa.
I know. I was like, wait a minute, the beard. Anyway, maybe I wasn't too smart. But
we have people from all ages watching this show, Irene. So you know what?
There you go.
Everybody believes in what they believe. Hey, you can't tell fans how to fan. Definitely don't tell people what to believe on.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. Y'all can believe in Santa. It's fine. It's all good. All right. I'm a little bit I'm switching up a little. I'm acting as messenger today. My guy Jay from Battle Creek, Michigan, he talks to me all the time during the games. He wanted to know what you would think of the potential of Zach Martin and Tyron Smith being inducted to the Hall of Fame together if they both retire after this season. And Davion wants to know who our most important player is right now in this moment, playoffs aside, is it CD or is it Rico? And if I don't talk to you before Christmas, which you probably won't, enjoy your celebrations, okay? Thank you. Bye.
Man, I guess I could have asked that again of what the most important player, Rico or CD. Maybe I don't understand that question. If it's maybe it's just running the ball. You run to set the pass, or you pass the ball, set up the run. I mean, who scares you? I mean, as a defensive coordinator, who would scare you more? So if that's the case, I think it's certainly CD. But Rico's playing really well right now. They're running the ball well, and they're doing a nice job here. We got a basketball team coming in here as a tour. Man, these guys look pretty good. These guys look ready to go here. There's about 15 guys that are all about 6'3", 6'4", just all walking through here. What's up here? This might be a high school team, college team. They're ready to go though. I wouldn't want to face them. The first question or the other part that you were talking about difficult, to watch Washington and all that stuff and where they are and how lucky that they've been, or fortunate. No, not lucky, but they're fortunate. The thing that's probably a little bit disappointing from a Cowboys standpoint is you look at, Washington's 3 games up on the Cowboys at 8-5, 5-8. Or no, I'm sorry, the Cowboys are 6-8 now, and Washington is 9-5. So this is an older one. I'm looking at the wrong one. So still, though, I think they're 3 games up on the Cowboys, and Dallas is a better team, and that's my opinion. I've seen them play face to face. Dallas was better. They were better that day. And so, without a doubt, the Cowboys should have a better record than Washington. They do not, and that's unfortunate for them. But that's a situation that I look at and say, man, that's where first place schedule goes in. That's where some breaks don't go your way, and it's working for Washington. But Washington's going to play. Probably get to the playoffs, and I don't think they're a better football team than the Cowboys. But you blame Dallas for that, and that's just you blame them for where they are in the situation here. All right, let's go to Gary in New Mexico.
Hey, Nick.
How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Okay, I got an old school, fun, old player trivia question for you today.
All right.
Okay, 1983. Week 6.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys, undefeated Dallas Cowboys are hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dallas trails by 7 with under a minute to play when Danny White throws a 52-yard touchdown pass to which running back?
Okay. Here's the thing about this.
Okay.
You're not just – you didn't just randomly get one, on me here. This is one of my favorite plays of all time. Okay.
No, I know. I'm in your wheelhouse because you answered one several weeks ago about a game from that year.
Yeah.
That's why I brought this one back up.
But this is one of my favorite plays, though. Seriously, this is a play to Timmy Newsome, and he catches it on the sideline. And in my little 7-year-old memory, he tight-roped it for like 30 yards. Now, YouTube lets me go back and watch it. He probably did that for about 4 yards, 5 yards, where he almost goes out of bounds, and he stays in for a touchdown to tie the game. And Rafael Septien then wins it in overtime, 27-24, maybe.
Yep, that was it, man. You got it.
That
was some
game.
really bad tackling by Tampa Bay on that play.
It was really.
If we're really honest, but come on, man. Timmy Newsome is one of what I call my forgotten favorites. I love Timmy Newsome, one of those guys from when I was a kid. He had a lot of plays like that. Some good strong runs. Okay, past versus present, sobering fact of the week. Danny White had more playoff wins in his first 3 seasons as a starter than the Cowboys have had this century.
Wow.
So that brings us back to reality. But let me be positive. There'll be plenty of time to be negative when the season's over. Couple of things I'm rooting for as a Cowboy fan. I'm rooting for them to finish 9-8. We're probably not going to make the playoffs, but a winning season is a big deal to me as a fan. Mm-hmm. And I hope that they can get that. And I hope that Rico gets over 1,000 yards. So those are things to still root for, these last 3 weeks of the season. And then I want to say this, trying to stay positive, because there's so much I could be negative about. But C.D. Lamb has really gained my respect as a player. Because, I'm an old school fan, and I'm an old school guy, and I hold these new guys to a high standard. But C.D. Lamb, to play through that injury, that's a painful injury that he's playing through, and to gut through that shows me a lot about his football character, and I think that's a very positive sign for this team going forward because we have had so much bad luck with second contracts. And I think maybe we hit on C.D. Lamb, giving him the second deal, because he is fighting through that, and a lot of players wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But to see him gut it out in these games that a lot of the fans are saying, we just need to tank and get a better draft pick, to see C.D. Lamb go out there and tough through that injury, and if you've never had that, that's a painful thing he's dealing with. And for a wide receiver to have to deal with that makes it even tougher. Just have a lot more respect for that young man and what he's doing this season as a football player. But I do have one question, and I'll hang up. One of the problems I think Dallas has, and I want your opinion on this because you're in the building.
Okay.
Do you think that Jerry Jones, maybe Stephen to an extent, but do you think one of the problems is that Jerry Jones gets a little too close to his players? And I'll hang up and listen. Thanks for taking my call.
Well, I mean, no. I don't think so. I don't think it gets a little too close to the players. I think he was a lot closer. I mean, you can argue it the other way. I mean, when's the last time you saw him on the sideline? He doesn't do that really anymore at all. He was a lot closer to the players back in the 90s when they were winning. So I don't know if that's the case. And I don't know, you're probably talking about it more than just being physically close. You're talking about, going up and having conversations and all that. But as much as people don't want to like this fact and reality, he's the general manager of the team. That's the title that he has. And so he can do those things, and he can have conversations with players and talk to them about a lot of things if he wants to. I don't think he's really even that close to them. But a lot of things you said, I agree with the CD part. I think CD's done a really, really good job this year as far as not just playing through an injury, but playing well through the injury. I mean, he's playing well. He played a great game the other day. He was phenomenal on third down, made some really nice catches, run after the catch. There was a couple of plays where they threw the ball to him on a screen to just get a few yards, and then they'll punt. And he goes and makes the play. He went and made a first down and extended that drive. And so he isn't just playing through injury. He's playing really well through the injury. Let's go to Lester in Minnesota as our next caller. Lester.
Hey, Nick, how you doing this morning, man?
Well, that game was for you, man, last week, because I can promise you this. The offensive line was great, and the defensive line was great as well at the same time. So you had to like that game against Carolina.
Yeah, I was loving it. I tried to get in yesterday, and I heard a lot of the callers saying pretty much the same thing, and I was like, yes. and one of my things I was going to say today is that since I had my little rant, I'm sorry I had a rant that I don't usually rant about 3-4 weeks ago about put Hoffman in, put this one in, put that one in, and see what they can do because Hoffman is mean and da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's worked out really well. So I'm excited about that. One thing I did want to say is that I think that we should play some of our players in the preseason and some of our starters. And what I mean, not a long time, maybe just one series per game, just one series so they can get a little bit acclimated. I don't want anyone to get hurt either, but just one series, just one series, boom, that's it. And my favorite movie of Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life. And
all right, I'm gonna start doing a poll here. I'm doing a poll. We're gonna have this for the next week. Okay. And I've never even seen this movie, to be honest with you. So
it's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
man. It's you gotta check it out, man. I mean, George Bailey, he gets a chance to see the world without him. And everything changes. He makes a difference in everyone's life in this little town. You got to watch him.
All right.
So, and then my score of this week, I think we can get Tampa Bay. Baker will throw us one, or at least you can probably get one from him. So I'm going to say 25-16 Cowboys.
All right, Lester. Thanks for the call. You're right about Baker Mayfield. He'll throw you the ball. He's got some stats that are. I mean, it's hot and cold for him. Now he's having a good season. There's no doubt about it. Look at his stats. He's in the top 3 or 4 in everything this year for just completions, yards, touchdowns, interceptions, fumbles. So he'll score some touchdowns. He'll also turn the ball over some, and he gets sacked quite a bit. He's been sacked over 33 times, 34 times this year. Fumbles the ball, so and throws some picks. But he also, especially with Mike Evans back, Mike Evans is he's had 10 straight seasons of 1,000 yards to begin his career. He's been in the league 10 years. He's had 1,000 yards every year. No other receiver in NFL history has ever done that. Missed 3 games this year. Now he's sitting, I think, at like 750 with 3 games to go. So, he's going for it, and rightfully so. Their team is better when he's out there doing his thing. I was going to ask Chris. Chris, I was about to ask you, what's your Christmas movie? And you come in with Christmas Story, Home Alone, Die Hard. See, Die Hard, that's a whole other
You can
show.
go 1 and 2 on that one, buddy.
Here's the thing about Die Hard, and I've kind of gone back and forth on this. Like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I've asked the question: could this movie have been made in July? And
no.
You say no because that's why he was there, right? He was there because of Christmas and all that. That's why he was back in town and all that.
They shut down the airport because of a snowstorm. Not happening in July.
That's Die Hard 2. Dude, I'm not talking
that's
about that.
True.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the
Okay.
original. The original
1 and
one.
2, I said. So
Yeah, I get
he
it.
was there coming home
I
from
get it. I get it. Is Top Gun a volleyball movie? I mean, like there's
That's
volleyball.
different.
I'm just saying
that is so different.
It's just not. It's not the reason why Christmas is. It's not like you come.
Is Top Gun a love story?
Yeah, actually it is. Yeah, because I love the
Come
story
on.
of him. Yeah, it's awesome. Anyways, all right, we're getting off the rails here. Home Alone, great movie for sure. Home Alone, Die Hard, Wonderful Life. I liked Four Christmases because I love anything that Vince Vaughn does.
Okay. Four Christmases was really good too.
Yeah, outstanding. All right.
Outstanding.
All right. That's what happens when you're 6-8. You can talk about 1983. You can talk about Christmas. Talk about whatever we want. Let's go to Mike in Rockwall, Texas. Mike.
Good morning. Psyched to be on with you. First time caller.
Here we go, Mike.
Thank you.
Love going to Rockwall.
Two things. I wanted to touch on two things. I actually heard you on the radio this morning, too. So that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about because I know there's a lot of different things out there between Mike Fisher and ESPN and everyone else talking about the salary cap potential for the Cowboys.
You put those two in the
year.
same sentence. That's awesome. Go ahead.
I know, right? Yeah, he'd love that one, wouldn't he?
Golly.
But so the research I did with Over the Cap, Sport Track, and with the NFLPA sites and stuff, they wouldn't probably do it this way. But if they were to, they've already got a rollover of 19. They're going to have projected at 22 if the cap is what they think it's going to be next year. So they're sitting at 41 before they do anything for next year. And if they do convert Prescott and Lamb, they're picking up another 57. So right there, they're at 98. No matter what they do with Parsons. And if they happen to extend him, they save 16. If they trade him, they get 21. And if they do nothing, they're still sitting at 98 minus their draft class. So if they chose to, just flipping those two switches and extending Parsons, they'd have 113 to 118 million minus their draft class and any people they wanted to retain or injury settlement stuff from this year. Now, I'm not saying they would do that. We know that that's not likely what they're going to do. They're not going to go be those kind of spenders, but they do have the option to kick that down. They did add 4 voidable years to both Prescott and Lamb's contracts. Dak has already said in the offseason that he believes that if there's some right big-name players out there, their contract is obviously structured in such a way that they can have flexibility to convert and do some things. Again, not saying they would. So that was my take on that. And if I'm reading it wrong, I know you had said there was some fallacy there and you thought it was more like 75. Either way, that's still a lot more than they've had to play with. And it's not like Jerry and Steven make it sound that the cupboard is bare. Now, I understand that means that the cupboard's going to be bare 2 or 3 years down the road, or we could have a really bad couple of years of dead money when Dak and CD are done. But is this the window you say, I've got 4 years now, I'm going to have Diggs, Lamb, Parsons, Prescott. I'm going to have all these young players that I've got that are up and coming in. I can pull in some vets, some quality vets, and make a 3 or 4 year run at this thing. And which leads me to the second part of this, which is what I believe is, I don't think Mike McCarthy is the greatest coach ever. They all have their pluses and minuses. But I am a firm believer in if you've got a coach who has shown he's at a minimum a better than average coach, you keep him in the building. And you keep them in the building not just because they're better than average and that you don't know what's coming in the door next. Could be great, could be not so great. Consistency is one of the reasons why the Patriots did what they did in the salary cap era. Keeping a system in place that you can continue to build on, that your players continue to know better and better and can play faster and faster in, when it's already a proven system, is something to me I think is underrated in the NFL. That cohesion, the consistency. Mike McCarthy, for his career, now has more wins than Bill Parcells, and he has averaged for his career 26.7 points a game. That's insane considering how many games he's coached in the NFL. So you can't say his offense is antiquated and doesn't work. We led the NFL 2 of the last 3 years in points scored. Mm-hmm. So from my perspective, it doesn't make sense to move on from him unless you have an absolute clear slam dunk replacement that would be someone you could say is better, and he just went to North Carolina.
All right. Yeah, you make good points for sure. All right, Mike, thanks for the call. You're right about the consistency. I think of the Chiefs very similar as I think of the Patriots back then. They had a quarterback that was just better than everybody else, and working hand in hand with a coach that and a great tight end. After that, they didn't mind changing the pieces around, and they could, because it was a great system. They could interchange some different guys in, and when the Patriots did have a guy like Randy Moss in, then they set records, and then they were even better. But they didn't always need the top players. Same with the Chiefs. They're bringing guys in, and it seems like this is the end of their career, or it hasn't worked in certain places. Then they come here and kind of resurrect their career again. That's what happens when you have that kind of continuity. I don't think Dak is at that level, and I don't think Dak and McCarthy is either. But you're right about the continuity part. You're right about that. We could go all day long about the salary cap. I mean, I typically don't ever talk about the cap so much because it is so fluid and people see it differently. They see it like all those numbers that you're looking at. I know that the guys that work the cap for the Cowboys, they have a different viewpoint on that, on exactly what it is and how much money is there and all that. But it's easy to say that the Cowboys have a lot of money next year in free agency or on the cap because they've got 25 guys that are unrestricted free agents this year. So there's 25 guys on this team that don't have contracts next season. Well, and also if you look at it, like I think over the cap, if you're looking at that, and they do a nice job. I mean, they do a good job there, but they're not perfect because when you look at the list for next year, they got 41 guys on their team. On the Cowboys roster, they're counting 41 guys. Well, I mean, they're going to need more than that. You obviously need 65 players. How many do the Cowboys have this year on their roster? It's not 50. It's not 53. Look at the guys that are on IR. I mean, you have 65, 70 guys that you got to account for. You have to account for that. And so there's these free agents, you're going to have to sign them. And remember, the minimum is about $860 a year, and most of these guys are going to make more than that. So when you think about $1 million per average there, that's a lot of that's a lot of money to account for. Yes, they can go and do certain things and move around, but remember those guys that you're trying to push out. Dak and CD, that makes sense, but because that's the way it was structured. But the other guys, you want to do that with Malik Hooker, you want to do that with Terrence Steele, you want to do that with Diggs. Donovan Wilson. I don't know. I mean, so they should be able to be somewhat creative and figure out some things, but it's still going to be a challenge. Let's go to break here real quick on Cowboys Storyline, and we'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
The 2025 NFL Pro Bowl games are taking place in Orlando again this year. You can cast your ballot for the Pro Bowl games. Send your favorite Dallas Cowboy players to compete in the ultimate AFC-NFC showdown. Vote now at probowl.com/vote. How many Pro Bowlers do you think the Cowboys are going to have this year?
2,
says Chris Beam. 2. I will give you a word that rhymes with that. Who?
You want my who?
Who?
Well, I want to go with the kicker.
Nope.
No?
No. Look at the stats. Stats won't be there. Why? Because we're trotting them out for 70-yard field goals, and no one's going to remember that. They're just going to look at it and go, he hasn't been that good. Missed a 70-yarder. No one remembers the misses and the blocks. But
that's true.
I don't know. I mean, look at the other kickers have better. The Tampa Bay kickers got better stats. That's why I didn't like that kick. Don't try this. It's too windy anyways. You're not going to make it. All you're doing is just putting a miss on there for no reason.
What about Turpin? Kick
yeah, I like
returner.
That one. Yeah, he's going to make kick
he leads an average and kick returns, not punt.
And Aubrey could make it. Honestly, Aubrey was leading from the kick for kickers, and he's had a really good season. But he probably will. Actually, now that I think about it, he probably will. You're probably right there. Position.
You just said I was wrong. I'm joking.
Well, I mean, I can change my mind. You know,
in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's what happens. All right, those two. I like those two. There'll be a couple others. CD maybe.
Yeah, he leads.
And then don't ever count out Micah Parsons. You know, I mean, he's got
a podcast.
True. I want to see these defensive tackles. Who's going to make it there from the NFC defensive tackles? I know Osa's been outstanding. I don't know.
You may see one this weekend.
Oh, yeah, Vita Vea?
Yeah.
All right.
He's pretty good.
All right. You know what? I can do this with Randy. Let's talk to Randy. Randy, what's up?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Not really. Pretty warm over here. What about y'all's place?
Man, you just went from like, it sounded like Scrooge to the cable guy, to Larry the cable guy in like 5 seconds.
I can go from trying to speak like English right into Jamaican for some reason, or Spanish. I can't. I'm not very consistent with that.
I would love to hear like you read towards the night before Christmas or something like that.
What, the night before Christmas?
No.
Oh, I can do it.
No. In straight up Randy from Texarkana. Nothing else. I don't need any other. No. Your voice is good enough as it is. Let's go, man. What do you got?
All right. All I want for Christmas. Well, first, hello to Ali for always bringing the love. Favorite Christmas movie, Vacation Christmas. I don't know why there's even a debate with that. There's so many. There's not a person alive that hadn't hollered out shitter full at least one. So there it is. And then, all right, so for Christmas, all I want is for Miss Charlotte to be listening to this, because I think she would have a better influence with this. But could we at least try one time to have a uniform change where our helmet is the royal blue that's behind you on your StoryLine sign, and either that flat like the Vikings helmet or that chrome blue like the Lions helmet, and change it? Dude, I'm not trying to say we're plain, but we're kind of plain, and I am digging that helmet that the Lions have got, and I would really love it if we would just throw, not a permanent thing, just one of those every once in a while things, but and the amount of money the Joneses could make off of the sale of that jersey and helmet would be ridiculous. I don't know why it's not a good idea.
Well,
Talk to me.
All right. I mean, the Cowboys have they trick it up a little bit.
Not really. They kind of. I mean, I love the white with blue and the star on the. I like all that. I'm not dogging it, but. Man, what brought this on was last night when I was getting ready for bed. They had the replay of the last week Lions game on when they had that helmet on, and I was like, I'm taken back by that blue, and I was thinking our blue in that style with some sort of a cool new. If any of the callers agree with me, just say it, because I think I'm not alone. Because everybody I talk to on my end would love the idea.
Okay. All right.
What do you think?
I think this team's 6-8. That's what I think. We've talked about Pro Bowl. We've talked about Christmas movies. We talked about uniforms. Yeah.
I was about to say the only thing you're missing right now is the Price is Right freaking tuba behind me. The boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Well, Chris can do that for you.
Right.
All right.
There we go. There we go. I have a feeling you didn't like that idea, but okay. Well, hey, there you go. I love you guys anyway. I want y'all to have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, in case I don't talk to you again.
All right.
And love everybody out there in the radio world. See y'all.
Same to you, Randy. Thank you for the call. I think they do switch up the uniforms to the point of being a team that wants to be traditional at the same time. They want to keep the tradition, but, can you imagine? I mean, back in the day, Cowboys ever wearing blue at home? I mean, they do it. They wear it. They change it a little bit. You'll probably see more of that. All right, let's go to Anthony in Miami.
Make the quick. What's up, my guy?
How are you doing? I mean, Randy's over here trying to sing. What do you got? You
Hey, look, Randy singing. Was that Zach the other day with the on-site creativity in Atlanta? Was that Zach in Atlanta?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, my God. What have we started? What have we started?
I know.
Hey, Nick.
Name that tune. What's up?
Check this out. it was supposed to be a quick one, but now we got to play with you a little bit. And I was watching this movie. It's like a Christmas movie, man. It's one for watch today. Well, this guy, he sounds like this in the Nakatomi Plaza. He sounds like this. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Was that Hans?
It's Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me get this thing out. Okay. All right, Tampa Bay. Keys to the game. Throw the ball on the CD, play great defense, and get Rico his 25K so he can get another 100 and something to break this record and get the 1,000-yard thing for undrafted running backs and all that, and this and that, and this and that. We win again. Whether we go to the playoffs or not, we win again, and I'm happy again. So to you, to the Storyliners, to the Storyline community, all Storyline team, Sash, Chris, Josh, everybody, happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and all that good stuff. Talk to you next time, man.
All right,
Talk to you on the side next year.
All right, sounds good.
All right, now, man.
All right, Anthony in Miami. Let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. One more time. We'll go right back to wrap this thing up.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
The Dallas Cowboys gift guide is here. It's got everything you're looking for this holiday season. Grab winning gifts at the pro shop near you or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience. All right, back here on the Storyline. Let's go to the captain. Rob in Vegas has been holding. Rob, what's up, man?
Hey, Nick. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Got any hot takes on any of this Pro Bowl uniform Christmas movie stuff that we're talking about, everything but the Bucs game?
Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie.
Why? Why, though? I mean, I'm on the fence here. I'm on the fence.
Just because, first of all, they always play it around Christmas now.
I just said the same thing, Rob. You did not hear me in the break. And I said the same thing.
If that's the case, it's a Groundhog's Day movie because they play it all the time, which they should because it's a classic. I need something better than that.
I just think it's not a traditional Christmas movie, but I just think over the years, and it could be a parody, but it's a Christmas movie. When he rips the Christmas tape off the back of his shoulder to shoot the guy at the end. I mean, it's a Christmas. Now, it may not be my favorite. I think Elf is my favorite Christmas.
Really? Shocker. This is the biggest shock of the entire day is that Rob from Vegas tells me that Elf is his favorite movie. I love this.
It's just funny. It's the type of movie when that's on, you just watch it. And I like Scrooge too with Bill Murray. That's very good.
Now that one I'm not surprised about. Okay, because
but Elf is funny.
You have been the Scrooge of this storyline every now and again, but the fact I really hope in honor of Elf, I really hope that when you answer the phone, you say, "This is Rob. What's your favorite color?" I hope you say that. Do you ever do that? Do you just put like syrup like all over your food, all over your pasta?
No, definitely not on pasta. I haven't tried that, but I do love chicken and waffles, though. I do love that.
Nice. Hey, and you're from New York, right?
I am.
Yeah. So I mean, I know this. When people get hit by a cab, they don't just pop up and go, "Ow!" Yeah. Elf is a great movie. 99%.
One thing
Go ahead.
I had to get used to that when I moved to Vegas. That in New York, when you cross the street, the cars don't stop. They don't care if you're in a crosswalk or not. And in Vegas, you have to stop in the crosswalk. And when I first got here, I didn't understand that rule. I was like, no.
That's nice. All right, man. What do you got? Let's talk a little bit of Cowboys or whatever you want.
I want to give a shout out to I think it was Mike, the first time caller. I thought that was a great call.
Yeah.
Talking about the salary cap. And like I said, the money's available. Will they spend it? I don't know. If you go by past years, no. But I think this year they'll spend some because there's just too much of it. And he's absolutely right. We've talked about this. You have a 4-year window with this group, with the Dak, CD, and I'll throw Micah in there. So if you're not going to go for it surrounding those guys, then I don't know why. Coaching. I look at the league, and you either gain an edge with players or coaches, and if you combine them, you win championships, like with Kansas City,
right.
What we talked about with the Patriots. And that's why I want to make a coaching change, not because Mike McCarthy isn't good. I think once you get to this level, I think they're all good. But because I already know that I'm probably not going to have an edge with players because my owner's not going to go break the bank like a Philadelphia and Detroit, and now you're going to have to contend with those teams for years, too, then give me the best coach that could give me an edge. Give me somebody that is either a great play caller. Yeah, our offense has been good, but once we get to the playoffs, it hasn't been good.
Yeah.
I think the way it's designed, Dak Prescott is not good enough to throw the ball as much as he does. Josh Allen is. Joe Burrow is. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is. Don't treat him like that. He's not that. So to me, that's the only reason why I want a coaching change. Give me a play caller like maybe a Ben Johnson. Now, there's always a risk when people say, "Well, how do you know he's going to be better?" You don't know. You don't know. But I think we're kind of stuck at where we are with Mike McCarthy. 5-year sample size has showed me he'll beat the bad teams, a la like we're doing this year, but he struggles against good teams and good teams with good coaches. I don't think he's ever beat San Francisco. I could be wrong, but we just struggle against good teams, and usually the reason why they're good too is they have good coaching. So just give me a coach that could give me some kind of advantage, since I probably won't have it on the field. Everybody talks about the talent. The Cowboys got so much talent. No, they don't. They have certain positions. We have the top guys. But after that, we do not. You look at the safeties, average. Linebackers, average. Now, obviously, Overshown was an up-and-comer, but now, he's hurt. Running backs, average. Second wide receiver, tight end, average. So, that's just my feeling.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I want a coaching change. Nothing against Mike. Now, I told you the other day, I think he's going to be back. Unless they lose all three, which is a possibility. I think if they lose the next three, I don't think he can. But I think if he wins against either Philly or Tampa, I see him coming back on a 3-year deal.
Yeah. All right.
So,
all right, Rob. Appreciate that. Good stuff.
Now, did you see Elf and Scrooge? You saw those movies, right?
I haven't seen Elf today, but I've seen Elf. I mean, and I say Elf is 99% a great movie. What y'all don't probably know about me is I absolutely despise chewing gum with a passion. It makes me want to throw up. And so when he partakes in the gum that's that he sees
on the table.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'd rather watch a bad ACL injury than watch that. So I'm sorry. Anyways, but other than that, I love it. I love the movie, and my new wish is to see when I meet you, Rob. I want you to be wearing that elf costume. That would be the greatest thing ever.
Oh, gosh.
All right. You know what? Thanks for the call. We got to keep it rolling. But I'll say this off the air, Rob. This is why Rob's the captain. Because think about it like what he just said. There's two movies that he loved. Elf. I mean, Buddy the Elf. Come on. And Scrooge. Like that's the way it is. That's the way it's the epitome of being a Cowboy fan. Sometimes it's Buddy the Elf. Sometimes it's Scrooge. So that's what keeping it real is. Sometimes that's what it is. So the fact that those are your two favorite movies, it's not really a surprise. I love that. Love that he says that. All right. Do I have another caller? I do. Ronnie in Jersey. Ronnie.
Hey, Nick.
What's up, man? Nick? Sorry, man. I know you've been holding a little bit.
No. Listen, everything he said, I agreed 100%.
Cabs?
Except for the movies. Elf is definitely one of my favorites. If we're getting into movies. And the other one would be It's a Wonderful Life. Those are my two. Those two movies I could watch all day, every day during this season. Even Halloween or whatever, I could watch those movies. Yeah, I love those two movies.
Yeah.
But to what Rob was saying, Nick, I mean, he basically took every little thing I wanted to say and just said it. So I don't have much because I agreed with everything he said about the coaching, about the team, the talent on the team. You know what, Nick? It's the Cowboys, so we're always we're viewed as the number one team in the country, in America, everywhere. So we're always, we have those eyes, or you guys have the eyes, all the eyeballs on you. You know what I'm saying? So when they draft whoever, oh yeah, this guy, whatever, this guy could be this. And we listen to Jerry, the press conference and everything. So we kind of believe part of, hey, yeah, we got him at 27, but he was actually our top two left tackle or whatever, and we kind of like fall for it a little bit. But yeah, I agree with him. With the talent, it's not there. Like, yeah, we have talented players at certain positions, but it's not as loaded as we were made to believe within the past few years. And you can't tell me because we lost a center that we didn't want. One of those defensive ends I definitely liked, not Armstrong.
Dante Fowler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of his speed, because he was different from the other guys. So,
but here's the thing. Dante Fowler, what did he get last year? Five sacks? 5.5 sacks?
Nick, he was on a rotation that we hardly used him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was according to how this guy was using him.
But hold on, Ronnie. Hold on. He got about 5 sacks, and he was playing opposite of Micah and all that, kind of benefiting from that. My point is I think there's a lot of those guys. And Carl Lawson has 5 sacks this year. Carl Lawson is the new Dante Fowler. And that just shows the value that Micah brings you. Micah is making these other guys better. Now, Dante Fowler's had a nice season with Washington as well. So he might be a little bit better than Lawson, but I think they benefit from having this guy here. So I think the next guy, if it's Sam Williams or another veteran, can benefit from that. But you just can't pay those guys all the time. You can't just say, we're going to pay you for what you've done if you believe that it's really generated because of Micah.
No, I know. And part of the reason we lost some of that depth is because we lost some of the players to injuries this year. What was he, second-round pick? Defensive end that he's back playing. and you just mentioned him. I forgot it just slipped my mind. He's out for the year with a
Sam Williams. Sam Williams.
Yeah, we lost him. I thought he was going to be amazing. For some reason, I thought he was going to be really good this year if he would have gotten more opportunities now under a different system. And if they go to a 3-4 with these guys, because we have pass rushers. Sam Williams, it just sucks that we lost Overshown for. It sounds like maybe all next year, if not just part of it. But if they were to go to a 3-4 with these guys and get big defensive tackles like we've been begging for years, because we just got to stop that run. We have the pass rushers.
Yeah.
And aside from that, I don't want to get into it. But we everything Rob said, Nick, agreed. And I just wanted to wish you a happy holidays in case I can't get through next week, because I know it's going to be crazy. I know the phone's going to be blowing up. So happy holidays to you, Chris, and everybody there. I appreciate you guys, like always.
Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate that. Happy holidays to you and your family as well. Thank you for the call. Thank you for a lot of good points today. Talking Christmas, talking uniforms, talking Pro Bowl, talking. We talked a little bit about the Bucs and talked about next year and all that stuff. So it was a little bit of everything here. That's what you want at your Christmas holiday season, right? You want some big presents, small stocking stuffers. We got all of it here in this show. It was good stuff. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow, same time. It will be our last show of the week. Tomorrow we will not be doing our show on Fridays. Only half of the shows, the afternoon shows, slide to the morning. We have a team event we're doing in the afternoon, so won't be a storyline on Friday. So last one. So get your calls in, get your predictions and all that stuff in tomorrow on the storyline. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?